Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have come up with one more very interesting update in my Google Chrome extension Retrieve Metadata and Data from Salesforce. This would be my version 2.2.7. So let's talk about the problem statement first. Many times we come across situations where we need to go through the debug logs to get different insights like various debug statements that got printed or the information about the governed limits, the limits which got consumed in my code execution flow, all or the different types of variables which got assigned, or the information about the debug levels, or just to have a plain dry run by going through the debug logs. But the problem arises when we have to go through this long debug logs, which is in the form of plain and boring text files. Sometimes we even get lost in this long list of statements mentioned in the debug logs, right? So the problem is very real. So just to solve this problem, I've come up with this feature which will make this whole process of reading the debug logs and getting different insights out of this debug logs very much easy and interesting. So I'll explain more about it. I'll demo it, how this analysis of debug logs become very much interesting with this extension feature. So before that, I would just like to walk you through the sample code that I've written, which will be used to run, which will be used to generate the debug logs, which then I'll use it in my extension to analyze the whole log and to get the different insights. Okay, so let me just open three Apex classes that I have written for this particular purpose. So the first one is log test 1, second one is log test 2, and the third Apex class is log test 3. I'll be instantiating this log test 1 and we'll be calling this print1 method of log test 1. The print1 method will in turn assign this value to the test1 variable of this class. It will again instantiate another class log test2 and call the print2 method from that log test2 class. At the end, it will print the statement. This is log test1. This will be a debug statement. In the another file, another class log test2, I'm doing the same thing. The only difference is that I'll be assigning a new value log test3 in this variable test2 of this class. I'll instantiate another class log test3 and will call the print3 method from log test3 class, and at the end I'll print out this log statement, debug statement, which says this is log test2 class. And in the final class I'm just assigning a new variable, a new value to this variable test3 of this class, and I'm printing a debug statement which says this is log test3. So I've already done that and generated one log file. So first I'll go to this debug log radio button. Here you can see that the option is to choose a file. The file will be the debug file or the debug log file which got generated. So let me just pull out that file that I have generated a few moments back. So this is my log file which got generated when I ran that particular piece of code. I'll just feed this into the extension, and you can see as soon as I have fed that file in the extension, the whole log got printed here. So this is the normal plain old text file or text format that got printed here. If you go to the drop down and let's say you want to find out only the debug statements out of this whole list of statements or from this complete log, then you can just select debug only, and you can see that only debug logs got printed here. So from my three text Apex classes, I have already seen that I was printing 3 debug statement, one from each class, So you can see there are 3 debug logs, debug statements printed. If I go to the next inside, I can also find out what are the variables which got assigned in this whole code execution flow. So here I can get the details of different variables which got assigned, right? I can also find out the limits which got consumed from this debug log. If I select limits consumed, then you can see it will display the different limits which got consumed. So number of SOQL queries consumed was 0 out of 100 because there were no SOQL queries in my code. Similarly, number of query rows also 0, and there are other uh, governor limits and its consumption ratio being given here. I can also find out the debug level used while generating this particular debug log. If I click on debug level, I can see that different log levels have been given here, like the Apex code was the finest, then Apex profiling was in the has a info, callout has info, DB has info, and so on and so forth. The last one is the code execution flow. This is interesting one because this will give you or help you do the dry run of your code through the logs, but in a more interesting way. So if I select this code execution flow, you will get this particular UI. For a better UI experience, I would suggest better click on this button, which will open this particular screen in a full screen mode. There you will get the insight more clearly, right? So let me do that. Let me click on this button, and as you can see that it opened this particular screen in a new tab, and now this is a complete screen. I'll again feed the same log here. You see this is the same log, and I'll go to the last option, that is code execution flow. So you can see that the code execution has started, this particular section has arrived, and before that you can see the 3 different color combinations. What it denotes is that in the below section, the exceptions and errors will be highlighted in red, the debug statements will be highlighted in yellow, and the assigned variables will be highlighted in the green color. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on this plus icon, or you can click on any place in this particular div section. On doing that, you will see that the next level of the code hierarchy gets open. It says that it has been executed from the anonymous apex, and this dotted line basically denotes a logical line of separation of different code points, right? So if I open the execute anonymous block, then I can see that it has executed following things. First, it has instantiated this class log test1, and then it has assigned these variables here. So assigned that this variable, then this dot test1 log test, right? Then if you open this, it has nothing, it's just an instantiation block. Now you can see that inside it, after the instantiation, it has called log test1.print1 method, the print1 method of log test1 class. On opening this, you can see that all these variables has been assigned here, which is highlighted in green. As I can see it from the top, all these greens denote the assigned variables, right? And from the print1 method, I can also see that it has also instantiated another class log test2, and it has also then called the print2 method of log test2 class, right? And at the end, it has printed the debug statement. This is log test1 class. Since the yellow The line highlighted in yellow is the debug statement, as I've already mentioned here. So you can easily find it out, right? Now on further expanding the log test2 class and then expanding the print2 method of log test2, you can again see that it has again instantiated another class log test3 and has called the print3 method from log test3, and at the end it has printed one more debug statement. This is log test2 class, and there's a logical separation in the form of the code in the form of these dashed lines, right? Now I can open this particular section. It has code instantiation block, and if you open this print3 method, then you can see that again this assignment has been done, and at the end it has printed the third statement, which is log test3 class. So with this you can see that how easy it is and to basically have a complete understanding of how the code execution is being done or how the code flow has occurred right from your debug logs, right? So this is a simple example. So you can also try it out with some complex or more complex debug logs. So this is it. I hope you would like this update. I'll see you in the next one.